Ever since episode 7 of JUJUTSU KAISEN released, the anime community has been all over Gojo Satoru's massive schlong. Understandably so. I mean, look at this man. He beat the ever-living shit out of Jugo, who's not weak by the way, being 9 Sukuna fingers strong, while Itadori only has like 3 right now. He's stated to be the strongest sorcerer in JJK, the absolute peak of the JJK verse. So a little story time, okay? Recently I watched a video by the YouTuber Duga, in which she said,
Then there's Gojo, who is the strongest character in Weekly Shonen Jump right now, and maybe ever.
And that got me thinking, is Gojo really the strongest character in Shonen Jump? Ever? And I instantly thought of Light Yagami as someone who could beat him, but then I kept thinking about it and I was like, well, maybe he beats Gojo. That's just how broken Gojo is. But the versus battle I want to talk about today is Gojo vs Giorno Giovanna from part 5 of JOJO'S. Giorno is known to be virtually unbeatable by anyone or anything, but to be the strongest, you gotta beat the strongest. What up, I'm Benshot and you're watching The Strongest vs the Strongest. So to start off, we'll talk about the newcomer Gojo. I'll be honest, I haven't read the JJK manga. I'm an anime only, so I'll be using the JJK wiki as a guide concerning the powers that Gojo hasn't yet used in the anime. As if he wasn't broken enough, that bastard. I'll first talk about the powers that were shown in the anime and then move on to the ones in the manga. I'll put a timestamp in the video to skip the latter one if you don't want to get spoiled, although I won't cover any plot points, but you do you. So to start off, we have Infinity. This is the ability that makes Gojo basically untouchable. He brings the concept of infinity into reality. The enemy will never hit Gojo because of the potential infinite amount of space between them, whatever the fuck that means. In simpler terms, you can't hit Gojo unless he wants you to. Plus, this is a passive ability that automatically activates. I'll be honest for a second, I think this is the best ability Gojo has, because the best offense is an unbeatable defense. But the man's a Swiss Army knife of abilities, and the next one is his Curse Technique Reversal Red. This is very reminiscent of Pain's Shinra Tensei. By reversing his Curse Technique Blue, which we'll get to later, he can violently repel anything in his path, making it an incredibly powerful offensive move, capable of wiping away large landscapes, as shown in the fight with Jugo. For the last ability shown in the anime, we have his domain expansion, Infinite Void. This shit is crazy, okay, not gonna lie. It pulls you into his limitless, forcing all of your actions to be repeated in an infinite amount of time. As Jugo said,
何も見えん、何も感じん。違う。何もかも見える。すべてを与えられると何もできず緩やかに死ぬなんて。でも君には聞きたいことがあるから。
Yeah, okay, buddy. Whatever you say. And as all of Gojo's abilities that were shown in the anime, well, there's also his immense physical strength, reflexes, tactical skill, and incredible reserves of cursed energy. But now to the abilities shown in the manga. So if you don't want to hear them, you can skip to this time. We good? Alright, let's go. Curse Technique Lapse Blue. As I said before, Curse Technique Reversal Red is the reversal of blue. So blue has the opposite effect of red. Instead of pushing you away, blue pulls you in. Kinda reminding me of... never mind. Also, you can use it to focus a gravitational effect on a single point, making it the center of gravity, pulling everything towards that. Next we'll talk about Reverse Curse Technique. Curse energy is inherently negative for humans, but by multiplying negative curse energy with itself, creates positive curse energy, which allows him to heal himself, which he doesn't really need because of his infinity, where nothing can hit him. But the more the better. And for the final ability we'll talk about today, Hollow Purple. By combining red He basically becomes Okuyasu with the hand and erases the opposing side, like, from existence. But if all that wasn't enough, he also has the 6 eyes, which allow him to use his curse techniques with extreme precision. See cursed energy and curse techniques, but not much more is known about them, even in the manga. And that's basically it for Gojo. Again, I haven't read the manga, so if I got anything wrong, let me know. But after all I've talked about today, you can see why this guy is an absolute monster in every possible way. As Itadori said, he's on a completely different level than any other life form on the planet. Now we'll move on to the OG unbeatable ultimate defense looking ass, Giorno. Don't worry, this won't be as long as Gojo's analysis. 3 words. Gold, experience, Requiem. It's so strong that it's still considered the peak of JoJo. Well, if you discount Heaven Ascension Dio. But that's from a game, so that doesn't count. Also, Jotaro beat him, which didn't make much. I'm getting off topic. But what makes GER so strong? Well, first of all, GER still possesses the base abilities of Gold Experience, meaning the Life Giver ability. He can create life by imbuing objects with life energy, which allows Giorno to heal himself and allies by creating new body parts. But with the Requiem, Giorno doesn't need to heal himself. When it comes to versus battles, no one ever mentions the Life Shot ability that speeds up the opponent's consciousness or Giorno's healing ability. The only ability talked about when it comes to Giorno is his ability to revert anything to 0. To explain it simply, imagine being in a training mode of Dragon Ball FighterZ, or Fighters, whatever, and you press the touchpad on the PS4 controller as soon as the enemy attacks. Both of you are back in neutral, enemy hasn't moved from his spot, and you are unharmed. Now imagine this being a passive ability that automatically activates as soon as Giorno is attacked, no matter from where, when, or how. A laser could shoot down from outer space while Giorno is taking a fat dump, and GER would still revert it. The laser, not the dump. I mean, don't believe me? Well, consider this. Diavolo with his King Crimson, who stands outside of the flow of time, even he was reverted to 0. Which means Gold Experience Requiem functions outside of the flow of time.
This is a load of barnacles.
I heard that!
Not only does it revert the attack, but it also reverts the opponent's will to fight and any other ability back to 0. And as Diavolo experienced, or is still experiencing right now, when GER kills you, you're put into an endless loop of dying, since your death is also reverted to 0. And by the way, you can pull a cause and just stop thinking, since your consciousness is also reverted back to 0. So you'll experience every single death that awaits you. It's also incredibly strong and fast, comparable or even greater than Star Platinum, who is stated to be as fast as light by Araki and can destroy diamonds with ease. Yeah, seems balanced, alright. So, the moment you've been waiting for. What's the verdict? Who comes out the victor? Who will be number 1?
Mister, あなたの覚悟はこの昇りゆく朝日よりも明るい輝きで道を照らしている。そして我々がこれから向かうべき正しい道をも。
While Gojo is super busted and I adore his character, I think Giorno takes it with ease. Gojo simply can't overcome Gold Experience Requiem. No matter how overpowered Ultra Instinct Goku is in Fighter Z, he can't stop me from pushing the touchpad on my PlayStation controller. And the same goes for Gojo and GER. It's just not possible. On the other hand though, I'm not sure if GR could negate Gojo's Infinity and hit him, since it seems to activate automatically. The case can be made, however, that by reverting Gojo's will to fight, his Infinity also gets reverted too. But if you disagree, I mean, the fight would simply end in a stalemate, since none of them could touch each other. kinda anticlimactic, but you know, it is what it is. But one thing's for sure, they could both beat Goku.